Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, August 1st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple things here to update. And we should be good to go. It's good. Few more things here. All right, solid. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And we should be good to go. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, August 1st. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. I think there was an issue with Telegram. A lot of people are messaging me right now. As people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start market liquidity here on the liquidity chart so that we can get started and have everything marked up before market open. So I'm using the high-low indicator over here to identify liquidity. If you guys are not familiar with this, just review the mentoring sessions. Super simple process. Got the weekly liquidity marked up there. Daily liquidity marked up there. 8-hour liquidity marked up there. 4-hour liquidity. Two-hour. So we didn't really get too much movement yesterday. You can see a lot of liquidity starting to build up over here. Yeah, quite a bit. $30-minute. $15-minute. And 10-minute. All right, perfect. So looks like we are good to go here. There's a lot of liquidity on both sides. I think bias for today is still bullish, so we'll see what happens when market opens here. But we do have liquidity marked up right here. Looks like we're ready to go. Let's see what's here so far. Morning, Kevin. Morning, CJ. Morning, James. Morning, Randy. Good to see you back here, Randy. Hope you're feeling better. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Kaner. Morning, Karen. Morning, Casey. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So it looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Looks like we're good to go. I have liquidity marked up over here. So we have upper level liquidity over here. It's low level, so maybe only go for 100 pips on, whenever price reaches that point. Also with the lower level over here, same thing. It's kind of a low level liquidity, so it's going to cut into the higher level liquidity. So I don't know, we'll see. It's a pretty big move for 300, so I probably would only go for 100 right now. Volatility is kind of low, but there's liquidity on both sides today. So we'll see what happens here. Yesterday, there wasn't really much liquidity nearby, or actually there was liquidity nearby, but it hit like pre-market, and it was decent, but it was all low level liquidity. So we have a lot of high level liquidity down here, a lot of low level on top. But I think the bias is bullish. So what might happen is price might come down, knock these out, and then it might swing all the way back up and give us a further push to the upside. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens. Other than that, let me see if there was news this morning. So we had news over here, or we have news at 6:45. So we have final manufacturing PMI at 6:45, ISM manufacturing PMI, Jolt shop openings, high impact news right here at 7. So 6:37, or sorry, 6:45 and 7. I'm going to go over here to the clean chart and mark this up. So we have high impact news coming up right here at 6:45. Hopefully this pushes price around. That's the main thing I care about. I don't really care about what happens with price, but I just want price to actually push, to get pushed around, because if we stay around opening price like how we have been the past couple of days, it's not really useful to us. It just causes a lot of low volatility moves, and kind of useless for direction. So news over here at 6:45, news at 7. That's pretty much it for today. More news over here at 7:30. So we have news pretty much all day today. It's not necessarily going to be a bad thing. I actually want news to happen because the past 2 weeks have been pretty much sideways movement throughout the entire session, which is not what we want. We want price to actually be moving so we can take trades, in that direction. So with that said, we have news right there marked up. I don't think there was pre-market news. No, we're good. Actually, it was pre-market news here at 5:55. It's red book. It's kind of low impact, but I'm going to mark it up anyways. So we had pre-market news over here at 5:55. There we go. And other than that, let's take a look at today's overall bias. Retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term technicals, long-term. Looks like the higher time frames are getting hit right now on liquidity. So you guys are looking to take liquidity over there. It looks like it is pushing up. Yeah, blasted right through it. Yeah, it looks like, I'm not going to take it obviously, but I'm just watching it. The liquidity right there just got hit, like literally on the opening candle. So market open right here at 6:30, pretty much knocked out all the liquidity right here on top. And it is kind of bouncing around. I'm not going to take the entry here. That would have been a nice entry though. So overall bias right now is still kind of bullish. You can see over here from the retail sentiment, 77% short. So it kind of pushed up like we anticipated. Very risky entry right now though. So I'm going to hold off on this. But if you guys did take it, it looks like it went straight to TP already. So it looks like right there, liquidity push on open as price continues to, obviously move around from there. Looks like it's going for that next level possibly. It's a bit overextended at this point. Nice. So Maddie said he caught it on his top step. I didn't catch this move right here at all. I was just watching it move around. Yeah, tricky movement right there up top. So the next level of liquidity is like way up. It's not super far up. It's like 14 points away. So we'll see if it continues to push up from there. As I mentioned, I'm waiting for the market to kind of stabilize a bit. We got news over here at 6:45, and then we'll see where this ends up going. Looks like Kaner took it, Maddie caught it, a couple other people caught it. Nice work, guys. If you guys caught the move right there, pretty much the full liquidity right there on open. We haven't had a move like this in a while, where it actually pushed, all the way through. So it looks like it might be pushing to that next level right there. Yep, one right there. So there goes the next level of liquidity. So pretty much all liquidity right here I marked up. I marked up this liquidity pre-market. This was the level that I was looking for. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hop into it, but this was the level that I was actually looking for, the higher level. I would have taken that for 100 pips. It happened too quickly. I was going to take it midway here, and then as soon as it started pushing up, it just blasted right through. So the reason why I knew this higher level liquidity was going to get hit was because of the sentiment. You can see over here, 78% short. I think price will probably continue pushing up even higher from this point. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to just keep climbing higher and higher and higher from where it's currently at, because it's just going to stop out all these people on the sell side. That's why retail sentiment is always important to look at, because retail sentiment over here is going to tell you everything. Like if you're going to take liquidity, you want to take liquidity opposite of retail sentiment, because that's where everybody's going to get stopped out, right? So pretty much all of liquidity over here got knocked out. And it's still pushing through right now as we see it. So yeah, you guys could have taken like literally any level here. You could have taken lower level, higher level, etc., and you would have locked in profit there for any of these moves. So yeah, if you guys made profit on it, nice work. If not, it's okay. We're still waiting for our momentum pullback scalps. So ton of moves there, and price is still pushing up. I would probably be careful about this next level here, because price is very overextended at this point. So huge push right here. Lower levels here didn't get hit yet, but the high levels here did get hit, of course. Let's finish off our overall bias real quick. So you guys can see what the bias is looking like. Retail sentiment was bullish, obviously. I mentioned that earlier today. 77% short, or sorry, I put 99%, 77% short. So obviously looking for buys there. I'm pretty sure the fundamentals are bullish. They're up 62 points, so they're pretty much neutral right now, or bullish neutral. Short-term technicals, I'm pretty sure are bullish. Yeah, you can see over here, everything's pretty much bullish right now. Short-term technicals, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. With that said, obviously bullish for short term. Looking over here at the longer time frames, 30 minute is currently above the pivots. They kind of just shifted up right now, so I'm going to put bullish neutral for the higher time frames. You can see the 30 minute prior, it was below, now it's above. 1 hour, it's barely cutting above on this current candle, and the 4 hours has been bullish. So we're going to say bullish neutral for long-term technicals. So with that said, I mean, if you guys can see here, pretty much, I mean, it's pretty bullish. So retail sentiment's bullish, fundamental bias is bullish neutral, short-term technicals are bullish, long-term technicals are bullish. So this is the reason why I would have pointed towards bias here if you guys are looking to take any of these entries, because obviously price is going up. Now that price is up like this is a good thing. We want price to be up like this, because now it's pushed away from opening price, which is way down here. At price, there's a couple of things that can happen now, and I'll mark it up on the clean chart. Now, let me just mark it up over here. I'll mark it up on the clean chart so it's easier to see. There's just too much stuff going on this chart, so it's hard for you guys to really decipher, what's what. So let me just put this over here. NYSE open price. All right, so with all of the liquidity here getting hit on the top side, looks like a lot of you guys here took profits on that. Michael said Taco Tuesday. Looks like he locked in profit on that. Van Hartwig locked in profit. Kenneth locked in profit. So looking over here, let me just mark up everything that I just mentioned. So let's see, 630 is right here. Eight o'clock's right here. So let's mark up opening price again. Okay, so here's the scenario that can play out here. This is our clean chart. It's easier to see things here with not so much going on. So price is currently up here. Price opened up and shot up right here, right? Price is now consolidating sideways. So with price consolidating sideways like this, one of two things will happen. Price will either, let me use a different marker. Price will either consolidate around this area and range and then come back down to opening price. That's one scenario. The other scenario is price can continue to consolidate here and continue up higher, right? There's two different scenarios right here. Price is bound to consolidate and range right here, but there's two different scenarios here that can play out. Price will either, so it's going to consolidate here, obviously, for a bit, consolidate and range. Once it's done consolidating, it's going to either push up higher or it's going to head back down and retest the opening price. So we want price to consolidate here. And then once it chooses the direction, we can start looking for entries in that direction. So that's fine. Let me go to mark structure up here. This structure isn't confirmed yet, but once it is confirmed, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So there it goes. Price goes sideways around this area. Price pushed up on open. One of two things will happen. Price will either continue pushing up or it'll come back down and retest opening price. So that's pretty much what you want to look out for here. Nothing really too crazy. We're just going to watch for this here to play out. Once it plays out, then we'll look for possible entries. But at the moment, there's just no direction. Looking over here at the ATR on the 10-minute, ATR is currently 20, which is perfect. That's great volatility. We just need to see if this continues to go sideways or if it starts to move directional. Because if it continues to go sideways, the ATR is just going to slow. It's going to lower down a little bit until it pushes out. And you can see right here, it's starting to slow down a little bit. ATR is now at 19. And we'll see if it comes back down to open or if it stays up here. Doesn't really matter to us whether it stays up or it goes down. I'm probably gonna wait for news here to pass at 6:45. Once news passes, we'll see if we can take some entries between 6:45 and 7 over here. I'm still gonna keep trading on my TradeAvate account, guys, but what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to be entering my trades on my actual Top Step account versus my trading view. So I'll still be entering price, but I'm going to be entering on my Top Step account because, not my Top Step, on my TradeAvate account. Because you guys have seen the issues yesterday. Yesterday, we tried to take a trade on Top Step and then had so many issues with the connectivity. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enter my trades on TradeAvate. Hopefully my trade will still show up here on my trading view. If not, I'm still going to mark up and I'm going to show you guys where I'm making entry. So just to make things clear for you guys. All right, no direction right now. You can see price is going sideways. It's doing exactly what we anticipated. There's a zone right there that I marked up. That's pretty much the high right now. The high or resistance, whatever you want to consider it, same thing. Price is pretty much just going sideways as we see it. And we'll see where this ends up going from here. Yeah, Daniel said some tacos al gordo sounds good right now. Yeah, definitely. Haven't had that forever. All right, so we got price kind of just testing the resistance over here, or resistance or high, whatever you guys want to consider. It's testing it right now. Let's see if it breaks above. So if it does break above, I'm completely fine with that. This is basically what I'd be looking for. So if price breaks above this area, I want to see it continue pushing up higher. So if price continues pushing up, I want it to continue pushing up smoother and smoother, right? Every time it pulls back, we'll have opportunity here for a buy. Another opportunity for a buy. But we just don't have that yet. So we're waiting for that confirmation of direction. I don't think price will move until like 6:45. We have the news event coming up right here shortly. Once the news event comes up, I think we'll have some direction. It's going to push price in a direction or the other. So we got news right here at 6:45. 6:45 news is going to be S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, high impact news. So that's going to be one of the big things. Another big news event's at 7. So hopefully between now and then we'll have some opportunity for entry. What I'll do here now is I'll start marking up the levels so that we have an idea of like market structure and where price is moving with regard to where price is currently at. So now that I put the lines up here, you guys can kind of see where price is moving. You can see it's not really doing anything, right? So I think price is going to stay flat until news happens right here in the next 2 minutes. Retail sentiment is now 79% short. It's pretty heavy, guys. 79% short. I think price is going to keep shooting up. Today, we're probably going to be looking for some buys because we might get some manipulation to the downside. And I think price will correct back up and just continue climbing and climbing and climbing. That's basically where I see price going. So, yeah, I think any drop to the downside is going to be temporary. I think price will continue swinging back up and it's just going to wipe everybody out. There's another level of liquidity sitting up top over here, which I do see price going up to. So this is probably the area to look out for. This price point right here is where you want to look out for, because when price hits this point, it's going to blast right through. It's just going to wipe everybody out. There's so many sellers in the market right now. It's 79% short. There's no way they're going to let price drop like continuously. Price is probably going to shoot up and just continue shooting up higher and higher and higher from where it's currently at. Yeah, but here's all of the level of liquidities that got hit. There's a lot of levels here that got hit. So, I mean, depending on which one you guys took, I mean, it's pretty, whichever one you guys decided to take, they all hit TP. So, all right, we'll see where this, ends up going from here. Thanks, Kaner. Yeah, Kaner said CNBC just said that US30 is at a 52-week high. So that might push price down a little bit with some manipulation, and then eventually price will swing back up and then it'll break past that 52-week high. I mean, it's pretty high right now for the liquidity zones over here. We have to mark these up on the weekly time frame, which is very high. I don't think we've ever used weekly time frame for liquidity pushes. Typically, price will range for a bit and it'll come back down, but lately, I mean, all the daily liquidities have been knocked out. So we're pretty high. Like, we're pretty high in comparison to where it should be, especially during the summer. All right, we got the retracement momentum signal right here on the 1 minute. Here goes a news candle. Let me go and mark that up real quick. You got the news candle right there. This might be a V1 variation right here. It closes green. I mean, I probably would have messed with it, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. It's probably V1 variation. This is a news candle. Surprisingly, there's no movement here. So I'd be careful if you guys are looking to take any entries here, because there's no movement on this news candle. The movement's going to happen eventually. It's just having a late movement. This is a high impact news event, so it should be moving. Yeah, there's a possible V1 right there. It's kind of a tricky V1 though. Yeah, it's just tricky because there's not really much movement there. There goes a V1 that's currently running. I mean, I'll mark it up for you guys if you guys are looking to take it. It's a tricky movement though, because of where price is currently at. There should be at least some movement here based off the news event. Let me go to the news event real quick. So over here at 6:45, it was neutral, looks like. So I'm not taking that position. I'm sticking to my momentum pullback scalps. I just marked it up for you guys to see. But yeah, there should have been some movement there. It was a high impact news event. It was neutral, but should have had at least some movement. Because people are still betting on these moves, right? It's not necessarily, people don't really care if it's like positive or negative. They just want to kind of, have some sort of skin in the game. when news events like this are coming out. So the news event right there at 6:45, pretty much neutral, 52.4. The big news event again is going to happen right here at 7. So that's 7 o'clock. So there's actually a lot more news events happening over here, closer to 7 o'clock, which is going to be ISM manufacturing PMI, Joel's job openings. So if this stays flat for a bit, it's probably going to push through on the next news event. Because there's a lot of news events here. ISM manufacturing PMI, it's more inflation news. Joel's job openings, it's going to indicate how many jobs are open right now. This is going to be the big thing. I think Joel's job opening is going to be a big thing because we're technically going to a recession. A lot of these big companies are laying off. So Joel's job opening is going to have a big effect to indicate how companies are doing. If companies are laying off, they're not doing good, right? You know, if they're hiring, then they're doing great because they have money to spend. ISM manufacturing prices, construction spending, Fed member Goolsbee speaking, et cetera. A lot of news events right here in about 11 minutes. So the V1 variation right there just hit. Pretty much ran through right there. Let's see. Yeah, James had secured 100 pips. So James got the V1 variation there. Oscar got the V1 variation there. If you guys took it, great. I marked it up for you guys. I didn't take it, so obviously I'm not going to count the trade. I'm only counting trades that I'm taking personally, to be on the safe side, of course. Let's see. Kaner said on that V1, a sell signal just came up. Wouldn't it be ideal to have the sell signal few bars before, or does it not matter? So it only matters if it's on the entry candle, Kaner. So like, for example, if it was on this second candle right here, it would matter. But if it's on the one before, that's completely fine. So like if there was a double body here in the next candle right here, say it was like an invalid sell signal, then yeah, you wouldn't take the trade. It's okay if it's right here because this just indicates that price is correcting back up, right? Because we have a bullish bias. So you already know price is going up. The sell signal right here just indicates a retracement. So this sell signal confirms that price is retracing, and the double body right there indicates that price is pretty much continuing. It's just continuation back to the upside. So that one's fine. It's just if it's on the entry candle. So V1 right there, guys, full TP. If you guys took it, great work. If not, it's completely fine, guys. Just wait. There's no need to rush anything, right? I'd rather be safe and not stress out than hold off on certain trades here. So let me see if there's anything else over here. Let's see. William said, for those who took the trade, you can take it on FTMO because it's not a red folder. They have the 2-minute rule. Just make sure I'm 100% clear on it. So clarify, you took the trade. So to clarify, you took the trade because it was not. So you'd have to go on the FTMO website. William, I wouldn't necessarily look at what color folder it is. You have to go to the website and check on their calendar because their calendar will tell you whether you can trade certain assets. So if you log on to FTMO, they have their own economic calendar. So you go there, you go to the economic calendar, you look over here at the news that just passed. So right here for manufacturer or final manufacturing PMI, it's yellow. It wouldn't matter because it's yellow. You could trade on that. You can't trade for Joel's job openings though. So you can't trade for Joel's job openings. Actually, no, it's fine. It's high impact news, but it's not read out. So if you scroll up, it'll tell you if it's restricted or not. It's not restricted. Like it's a red folder or yellow folder, but it's not restricted. So you can trade around that time. So if you guys are worried about FTMO, make sure to go on their website. They have an economic calendar and it'll show you. Let me see if I can just pull this over here. Yeah, I'm going to leave it on here. If you guys want to log into FTMO, just because I don't want to drag my stuff over. If I drag my stuff over, it's going to, because I can't even show you the entire screen. Yeah, Kip said, honestly, why are we even checking on this? Kodi strategy, avoid news anyways. Yeah, so you would just avoid news anyways if you were to be trading. So I mean, it wouldn't really matter because we don't really trade during news, William. But yeah, you check the folder. Maria over there just sent over the calendar. Thanks, Maria, for sending over the calendar. The calendar will show you exactly what's restricted and what isn't. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Kip. So guys, you should just avoid news in general. Like, for example, this doesn't really matter very much. I mean, this entry happened after news, so it's not really a big deal. It happened after, but you should be avoiding news anyways, like actual news events. So like we have a news event over here at 7 o'clock. You should be trading anywhere like near it. The reason why we were okay with this is because we saw there wasn't really much movement after it. There wasn't a reaction to the news event. So, and I didn't take the trade. So, there's reasons why I didn't take the trade. For one, there was news. For two, the candle was kind of flat. And for three, it's not part of my trading plan. I'm only sticking to momentum pullback scalps. So just a reminder, if you guys have a trading plan that you guys are following, which you guys should, just stick to your trading plan. As long as you stick to the trading plan and you don't try to do anything extra, you should be perfectly fine. There's no rush to pass. There's no time limit with these funding companies anymore. So, whether it takes you a week to pass, a month to pass, 2 months to pass, it doesn't matter. As long as you pass, that's all that really matters. I feel like a lot of people are complaining about not being able to pass within 30 days, but a lot of times they're just self-sabotaging because they were just forcing trades that weren't even there. But all right, guys, there's no direction right now. The ATR is still kind of high. It's at 18 points, so it's looking good right now. It's still above 15, but there just is no direction right now. If price finally moves in a direction, you can see over here the resistance and the high that I drew on a clean chart. It still hasn't been broken yet. It's still kind of going back and forth. I'm not going to draw a low here until we get a lower low, because right now price is really just going sideways. There's not really much to look at and focus on over here. Yeah, we're just waiting now. There's not really much for us to do here. And we're just waiting. We're probably gonna have to wait till 7. So there wasn't really much movement here off the 6:45 news, but I think 7 o'clock there's definitely going to be some movement because there is high impact news coming up shortly. Again, like we just mentioned, you guys shouldn't be trading high impact news anyways. Unless you have a reason to take a trade. I'll mark up trades for you guys, but just because I'm marking them up doesn't mean you guys should take them, right? If you guys want to be very consistent, just take the trade that I'm taking. You don't have to take all these extra trades that I'm marking up for you guys. If I see a V1 variation, I'll tell you there's a V1 there because other people are applying the V1s, but it doesn't necessarily mean you should take it. I even gave you guys a heads up and I said, I'm not going to take a trade. So just keep that in mind, guys. And just pay attention. I feel like a lot of people, sometimes I'll tell people not to take a trade and they still take it. And then they wonder why they lost the trade because I told you not to take it. So just keep that in mind, guys. If I tell you I'm taking a trade, then it's probably going to be a safe trade and it's probably going to hit. If I tell you I'm going to mark it up, but I'm not going to take it, it means that the trade's probably going to hit, but I'm not going to take it because it's risky. So just keep that in mind. I try to be as clear as possible when I'm, giving you guys these heads up. It's mainly for the other traders who are applying the other strategies. If I see any other strategies here come up like V1, V2, V3, high level momentum scalp, etc., I'll let you guys know because that's going to be beneficial for other people here who are looking to apply those specific strategies. All right, 655 right now. Price is finally pushing up. It's not pushing past the structure yet. You can see price is attempting to, but it hasn't gotten past that level yet. Price is still technically going sideways. We'll see here if price continues to push up higher or if it stays flat. So it's just going to be a matter of time until that area gets reached. It looks like price, eventually when it does push up, it's going to hit liquidity up here. You can see here that it's going sideways. It's not really doing much, but eventually when price does get to this point, which it will, it'll probably hit that point and blast right through. Next level of liquidity up there. So it's just a waiting game here. We got 6:56 right now. We have news coming up in 4 minutes, guys. just be patient. I probably wouldn't take any trades right now anyways, because the last thing you want to do is take a position, be holding on to it when news decides to spike in the next, 3 minutes or so. It's 6:57 right now. We got news coming up in about 3 minutes, high impact, lots of news coming up right here. I would just sit tight. Thanks, James. Yeah, James, the sentiment is now at 80% short. That's a lot of resellers on the sell side. So I think price will definitely blast to the upside. If you guys do see a buy, it's probably going to blast to the upside. But again, I would be careful because there's news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. But I do think this liquidity here is going to get hit. It'll for sure get hit at some point. I don't know when, I don't know where, but it's going to get hit at some point. So keep an eye out for that liquidity point right there, because there's a lot of sellers entering the market. And if a lot of sellers are entering the market, you got to figure out where their stop losses are sitting, right? Where the stop loss is going to be, it's going to be right at this liquidity. So just keep that in mind. Let me see, there's another level right here too. So there's a lot of levels right here, guys. I think all these levels will probably get hit by the end of today. This is going to get hit. It's going to blast right through, stop everybody out. This is going to get hit. It's going to blast through, stop everybody out. The thing is, these are high level liquidities. So these are weekly liquidities, guys. Just keep that in mind. These are not low level liquidities. You can see our price starting to push up. I would be very careful about taking some entries here though, because the news is coming up shortly in the next minute or so. So if you guys are looking to take these trades, I would recommend getting in and out as quickly as possible. If you can get in for 100 pips, get out. Don't hold on to it for too long, because I can see a lot of crazy movement happening as price gets near these levels of liquidity. All right, so it looks like price is pushing past it right there. You can see over here on the structure that I drew, price is pretty much sitting right there. But yeah, liquidity is definitely going to get hit up top. You can see right here, 1% of the people got knocked out. So you can see earlier it was 80%, now it's 79. What do you think happened with that 1%? When price broke out of my structure right here, pretty much stopped those people out, right? Their stop losses are probably sitting right here. Price pushed above the structure, stopped them out. And now price is probably going to go flat until the news happens. News is coming up in about 40 seconds. Be careful if you guys are, well, I wouldn't even recommend taking any entries right here, guys. I would sit tight. It's really close to liquidity, but I would be very careful about the news that's coming up shortly. I mean, it's about to happen right now in about 30 seconds. So we got news over here in 30 seconds. Let's see how price reacts to it. I think it's going to spike. Personally, I think it's going to spike in either direction. It might spike in both directions to stop people out on both sides. So unless you got a really, really wide stop loss, it's probably going to spike in both directions. It'll probably spike up or spike down and then come back and correct. So we got 10 seconds till the news event right here. See what happens. All right, there goes the news candle right there. There goes a spike to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if it spikes right back to the upside, and that's exactly what happened right there. You can see right there it's bouncing back and forth. I'll mark a news candle right there. It's not as violent as I was kind of anticipating, but it is spiking back and forth in both directions. Pretty much spiking people out in both directions. There goes liquidity right there getting hit. Anybody caught it? I didn't take the trade because obviously it's a news candle, but you can see right there, it blasted right through liquidity just like we anticipated. So it did exactly what we thought would happen. So if you guys went for 100 pips, went through, spiked right through, hit the TP, and it's right back to where it was. So it did exactly what we anticipated. We anticipated a spike back and forth, basically stop people out on both sides. If people were buying, would have spiked, came up, came down to stop people out. And then if people were selling, would have spiked up to stop people out and came right back down. So here we are, we're back to somewhat regular movement. And we'll see where this ends up going. So if you guys look over here, there was actually an entry for a momentum pullback scalp. Price pushed up, retraced right here. The entry would have happened on this next level right here. So if anybody was looking to take a momentum pullback scalp, there's one that happened right here, like literally right there. There's another possible opportunity right here too on this this next candle. If this candle ends up closing red, which I don't think it will, but if it does, entry would be right there at the 80 mark. Let's see if this works. Oh, it does work. Okay, cool. So I placed my order over here through Tradeovate. You can see it came up on my trading view. So the entry would have happened right here at the 80 mark. I have a pending order right there. I just need to figure out how can I cancel this if I need to. Okay, I see it. If I need to cancel, I'd be able to cancel it. This is pretty cool that you can execute it. So if you execute your trades directly on Tradeovate, it still shows up on your trading view, which is cool. And it's pretty smooth. I mean, if price continues to push up, I'm gonna have to cancel my order because the entry will probably happen a little bit higher from where it's currently at. All right, so I got my pending order right there. It still hasn't filled. Just waiting for it to fill. All right, so if you guys want to keep trading on TradingView or like do what I'm doing here, you can just execute your trades directly on Tradeovate. It's actually pretty nice. So my entry didn't fill yet. It would have hit my TP if it did, but it didn't fill yet. I'm gonna keep following right here. If nothing happens in the next couple of minutes, I'm just gonna cancel it and wait for the next one. So we'll see if it fills right here. But I like how it still comes up on here. That's perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. The reason why I wanted to come up here so that you guys can see where I'm entering my trades, because I want to be transparent to you guys where I'm entering these trades so you guys know exactly where to enter and there's no confusion. My entry is waiting right there. All right, price is pushing up. I'm probably going to cancel this order. Yeah, it's too high. So I'm going to cancel it. There we go. All right, that's pretty smooth, guys. So yeah, if you guys want to keep trading on TradingView, just execute your trade on Tradeovate because it works perfect. There's no issues here with entry. All right, I'm looking for the next retracement. We don't have a retracement here yet, but I'm looking for the retracement. My entry never happened right there. If anything, my entry might happen right here at the 90. Or it might happen again on the 80 right there if it continues to drop lower from where it's currently at. Or it might not even happen because if it's going to drop too low, it might not be an entry here at all. All right, let's see. Leave at the 80 mark right there. Actually, I can't get into the position. I wasn't able to set the order. Unfortunately, I'm not in this position right here, guys. So I wasn't able to get into it, which is okay. I'll just wait for the next one. Yeah, so I think I wasn't able to get into the position here. Maybe it was a good thing because the sell signal did come up. We're just gonna wait for the next one to reset. Nice. Shiv said he got an entry, but FOMO pulled out in profit. 239 euros off that upper liquidity. Rick looks like he grabbed the liquidity as well. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, so if you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I'm gonna wait for another entry here. Technically, this next entry wouldn't count because the first one already filled over here. So there was one that happened right here, the buy signal retracement. The entry would have happened right here and it would have went to full TP. So that would have been the entry for this specific momentum. So I'm just gonna wait for the next momentum to come up at 7:06 right now. So we still have some time. It's going to wait for the next momentum signal to come up. If anything, there's another entry that's probably coming up over here on the 5-minute. ATR is 27. Yeah, this candle still has like 3 minutes left on it. But yeah, so the first entry over here came up already for the momentum signal. We just got to wait for the reset because, I mean, technically, if you want to take multiple entries per momentum, you can still take this one here if you really, really wanted to. But I'm probably going to hold off on it, obviously, because I can get into the position anyways. So whenever I'm entering a position, guys, you guys will see it come up over here on TradingView. I mean, luckily, thankfully, I didn't get into this position here. It's probably going to swing back up, but good thing I didn't get into it because then I would have been in some drawdown right now. I actually would have to close out for a small loss right here if I was to take this one. That was right here specifically. It looks like there may be a V1 variation setting up right here too for the correction. 30 seconds left on it. Yeah, it looks like there could be a V1 variation here. So if you guys took the entry for, or you guys were looking to take it, it's still technically running. This V1 variation might be the correction back to the upside that will be pushing up higher. So we'll see. I think this will correct back up. It's just a matter of time until it actually does, until we have that confirmation. Hasn't happened yet, but it looks like it may happen shortly. We have the 5 minute over here. It's still pending too. Well, it has like a minute left. It's got some time left until it actually pushes through. There's a V1 over here running. So there's V1 variation running right there. And there's also the earlier entry that was running earlier right here as well. So there's two entries that kind of, they're in confluence with each other. Let's see, question from Madhu. Madhu's asking, would you consider the 5 minute overextended if you're looking for entries there? I would kind of consider it overextended. For that specific reason, like what you mentioned, it's pushed out too high. The thing is, like, the consolidation tried to play out here, but it wasn't it wasn't a really long-term consolidation, right? The consolidation was actually kind of weak compared to what we're used to. So yeah, I would consider it a little overextended. So I'd consider it a little bit risky. I might not go for the full move if I was to take something like this. I'd probably go for a smaller move. But yeah, it is a little overextended. The thing with this here, though, is if you look at the ATR, it's probably going to be decent enough to identify, how far price will probably push. So like, for example, right here, the ATR is currently 28. So if you're going to look for an entry here for, 28, I guess, you can see if it's enough range for you to actually push through, like if it's going to push through or if it's too far out. So the good thing about the momentum pullback scalp, though, is that even if you are looking for, or if it looks overextended, that retracement to the downside that you were probably waiting for is probably gonna be enough to fill the entry. Like, for example, here, price is pulling back. If your entry's down here, it's enough for it to retrace and consolidate a little bit before it pushes up higher. So nice. Daniel said that he took the V1 for a discount, hit TP. Kevin over here as well. Nice work, guys. So two guys here took the V1 variation that just came up right there. Looks like you guys took hit your TP already. So I'm still not in any positions right now. I'm still waiting for, confirmation here for another buy signal. Once we get that buy signal, it'll confirm that price is going to keep pushing to the upside. Like what Madhu mentioned over here, price is a bit overextended. So the entry would technically happen right here off the 5 minute. But now that Madhu mentioned it, yeah, I probably would have waited a little more for it to pull back a little more. But at that point, it's probably gonna be too late. It's probably going to push right up. So I'll mark this up here on the 5 minute. I'm still not in this position right here. I was basically waiting for the 1 minute here to provide the buy signal. I thought there was going to be a buy signal right here, but it never came up. There's a 5 minute here that's currently running. It's active right now. I'm not in the position though, but I did mark it up for you guys to follow if you guys are looking to take it there. So we got the 5 minute right there running. We got the V1 that just hit TP, I think. And I'm just looking for the buy signal. Once we get the buy signal, I can start looking for a V1 variation, or not a V1, momentum pullback scalp. Because we need that momentum to confirm the direction first. You'll see that the 1 minute and the 5 minute will pretty much overlap. But right now, I'm not in any of these positions right here. So I'm pretty much just waiting for that buy signal to come up. Well, technically, the momentum pullback scalp over here, you'd have to pull out for a small loss if you were taking the one that was up here, because the sell signal came up, so you'd have to pull out of it. The V1 did play through though, and now I'm just waiting for that buy signal. Once we get that buy signal, we can confirm the continuation, and then from there we can start looking for a momentum pullback scalp. And this market today is Well, actually, this is NFP week, so just keep that in mind, guys. So today's the first of the month. It's 1st of August. Usually the first and the starting and the end of the month is usually kind of iffy. On top of that, it's NFP week. So I warned you guys about this yesterday. For NFP week, it's either really smooth throughout the entire week or it's like kind of choppy. It's like going to be kind of choppy Monday through Wednesday, and then Wednesday through Friday, it's going to start moving a lot smoother. So NFP week is always kind of tricky. It always falls on the first week of, or typically the first week of each month. But usually if you have NFP where it pretty much coincides with the actual first of the month, you start to get some of these weird movements. It's just the way the market moves. We've been trading NFPs for years now, and we've seen this pretty much. I mean, this is pretty much the market condition that it's been like for years. Yeah, I think NFP is probably one of the most manipulated months out of the trading, or the most manipulated week out of the trading month. And typically this is just, it's regular market movement. All right, so we're just pretty much, we're just waiting again. Not really much for us to take here. Sit tight and waiting for the direction. It's not really smooth right now, which is, it's a given. Kind of expecting that anyways. All right, so price is pulling back right here. It's not really pushing up just yet. So it's a good reason why we can take the 5-minute over here. But we're still waiting right here. So I'm mainly focusing here on the 1-minute. I'm looking for price to pull back and provide us opportunity for entry, but there's no buy signal yet. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a buy signal to come up. Once it comes up, then I'm going to be looking for opportunity to ride this up higher. But we just don't have that yet. So it looks like I pretty much dodged a bullet here by missing the entry. So here's the reason why you would have cut out of this entry earlier. Let me just go and maximize this, like we talked about earlier. So this 1-minute over here, I was supposed to take a trade that would have entered right over here, right? I ended up not taking it because I got an error on TraderBait, thankfully. But let me show you why you have to cut out of these positions early. So for example, over here. So for example, over here, the entry would have happened down at this level right here, right? Or actually would have happened at this level right here. So if your entry would have filled right there and you got a sell signal right there, you would have had to close out early for a small loss of 150 pips. So instead of taking the full loss for 250, you cut out early for 150. And the reason why you cut out early right there is because price just continues dropping from that point, right? So that's why it's important that you guys follow the rules. And if you end up having to pull out of a position early, it's better to pull out for a small loss than to eat the full loss, because you would have ate the full loss right here if you would have held on to it. I didn't take this position. Thankfully, my TraderBait didn't execute. I did have the pending order there. You guys would have seen it on my screen. I tried to set the new order, but when the sell signal came up, I was like, okay, I'm not going to take the trade because this is probably going to come down a little bit. So I didn't get into any of these positions. I didn't take any of the wins, any of the losses, anything really. I haven't taken any trades today yet. So we are looking for another opportunity here to come up, but there just isn't any buy signal that's come up. So yeah, no trades on my account yet. I'm just pretty much just waiting for the buy signal. Once the buy signal comes up, hopefully we'll be able to look for an entry here. 716 right now. We still have a lot of time. Price is just pulling back down. Price was overextended. So you can see over here, price pushed up, consolidated, pushed up, and now it's coming back down. I think eventually it's going to come back up. There's just too many people on the sell side right now. So I don't think this is actually going to drop. I think this is just temporary. And I think price is going to swing all the way back up. So yeah, if you guys took any of the liquidity pushes, pretty much all liquidity here got hit already from the lower end to here. Price is just now pulling back down to probably I don't think it'll pull back down to opening price. It's too far down. See the clean chart. Actually, it might. So it might pull back down to opening price over here. I don't think it will, though. I think price may come down here, consolidate a little bit, and then come back up. But I mean, who knows? Price may come back down to this opening area right here. So we got some profits over here. Let me show you guys the profits that everyone has locked in so far. We have Kenny over here, total profit of 1,740 for the day. Looks like he took 2 levels of liquidity right there. Nice work, Kevin. Kenny locked in 1,700. We have Maria over here. She said problems with computer, but she managed to take something. She took the liquidity push over here as well. Total profit of 242 for the day. Nice work, Maria. So solid profit right there. We've got Paul over here. It looks like Paul, let's see, 7 o'clock. Which trade did you take at 7 o'clock, Paul? Put it right here. If you took it so you took it like right at the news channel, Paul, you probably should have waited until after, because that was the high impact news that we were looking for. Because I see the timestamp over here for your entry. You took it like literally at the news candle, 7 o'clock. Yeah, you took it late, but you also took it at like, so you said, I'm looking at your losses right here. You took trades at like the worst time. Right here at 6:30, you took it exactly at market open. You should probably wait for the market to kind of stabilize a bit. And then right here at 7 o'clock, you took it right at the news candle, because that was a high impact news that we were waiting for. So remember the one that we were looking at over here, Paul? This is where I was like, okay, we should probably not take anything here, because it's like 4 high impact news events at 7 o'clock. So I mean, it's all good. You learn from it, but just keep that in mind in the future. You know, if you're taking trades, make sure that you're waiting for price to react to news, because if you take it right on news, you'll get caught in the spike. And it seems like that's what happened right here. Looks like you took it at 7 o'clock, and then you got caught right on that 7 o'clock candle right here, the big one. So see the 7 o'clock candle? This is where you got caught at. I mean, you could have gotten lucky. You could have hit your TP, but I'd rather trade based off probability versus luck. But yeah, you took the trade right there at 7, and then at 6:30 you took it like right at open right here. I don't know how you lost the trade at open though, because this thing went straight up. I'm assuming your stop loss was too tight, because your entry happened over here at 6:30 and it like went straight up from here. Like it didn't even pull back at all. Out of this candle right here, actually. Looks like you might have taken this one too late, because your entry right there happened at, yeah, you took it at 6:30 and 58 seconds. You took it literally when it started to pull back right here on the next candle. So guys, just keep that in mind. If you guys are taking these trades, be careful like on open and then also on news candles, because it'll affect your trade heavily. That's why I usually just avoid trades when it comes down to news. When you have news coming up, I usually just sit on my hands and I just wait for the news to pass. And then once it passes, I look for my entry that happens after that. It's kind of tough when it's hitting liquidity though, because liquidity will typically, you'll get a lot of volatility around news price or news entry and stuff like that. But other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, Paul said, yeah, it was a rough one cutting it out. He just had FOMO. It happens. It's no big deal. Dijon over here took a loss on the V1. And out of all the trades, Dijon, that you took the only one that didn't play through. Maybe it's all good though. So Dijon, usually he takes like the other ones. Like typically Dijon's been pretty consistent with like locking in profits with liquidity push. But let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking at these other messages here. So we have Andreas over here, smart profits, total profit of 2,290 for the day. Nice work right here, Andreas, all wins. Other than that, there's no trades that we're missing right now, guys, so don't worry. I know I'm going over everyone's profits right now, but there's nothing for us to take here. We're still looking for a buy signal here to come up. If we don't get a buy signal, if price starts to continue dropping, then that's fine too, but we need to wait for the trend meter here to turn red. Or the trend to confirm. So we have a sell signal right here. Prices below the pivots. Pivots are starting to angle to the downside, but they're not confirmed yet. Also, the trend meter down below is blue. So unless we have a downwards trend, we can't look for sellers yet. And until we get a buy signal, we can't look for buys yet. So there's no entries for us to take here at the specific moment. So don't worry, guys. You guys are not missing out on anything right now specifically. What I'll do here is I'll move this down a little lower so that we have some structure down here. But it's not really necessary. It doesn't really make, I mean, it doesn't matter to us because we don't have a bearish trend yet. So again, guys, two things that we're looking for. We're looking for a confirmation of bearish trend. If we get that, we can start looking for sells, no problem. On the other hand, if we get a buy signal here, we need to confirm that price swings back up and then we can look for buys there. But there's no entries for us right now. So you're not really missing out on anything here. So don't worry. For the momentum pullback scalps here on the 1 minute. Looking over here, let's see, Natasha took liquidity today. So she took 4 different liquidity pushes. You can see right here, her total profit is 59.74 for the day, all wins. She took 1, 2, 3, 4 liquidity pushes right back to back after each other. So nice work right there, Natasha. And I think she took some liquidity pushes last night too. So she took 2 liquidity pushes last night, 26, 24. I wouldn't take them during Asia session, but I mean, they still work. So you can see over here that Natasha's still locked in profit during Asia session. And then she locked in 2 more this morning. Shiv over here. Shiv is currently up a total profit of 239 for the day. Nice work, Shiv. He took the buy right there as well. So Shiv locked in some profit there. We got Kenny over here. Hey, Jason, you gotta message me before the live session. Guys, if you guys have any questions, because Jason's been messaging me like every day, but it's like during the live session, bro. If you can't get into the live session, you gotta get up like before the live session starts and then message me. You can't message me at 6:40 and say, hey, bro, I'm not in the live session. I'm trading already. I can't like go back and forth. So just a heads up, guys, if you guys have any like technical questions, you got to get up earlier and message me before the live session. You can't message me during the live session and demand that I like answer your question because we're trading right now. Other than that, some more profits over here from Kenny. Kenny locked in the total profit of 1,700 on this account. We have Barty over here, total profit of 910. All wins right here as well. And guys, another thing, if you guys have like 10 different usernames, use one username, right? The problem with Jason here is he has like 10 different usernames. So he keeps trying to sign in, but then he gets logged out on the other one. So I don't know why people even need that many usernames. Just if you guys are using Telegram, just have one username. There's no need to message me through like 6 different usernames because that's how you get kicked out of the group because you have like so many usernames, you can only be logged in on one. So just a heads up, guys. Let me just help Jason real quick. This guy needs to get in here. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is frustrating because I had to deal with this. Like Jason's been hitting me up like every day this week and last week, and we can't get it figured out. Let's see, Maddie over here, some more profits from Maddie. Total profit of 2,735 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. So Maddie locked in 2,700 on his top step. We got Nelly over here, total profit of 1,986 for the day. All wins right there as well. Nice work, Nelly. And then we got Patricia over here, total profit of 2,950 on her personal account. And then here goes Patricia's other accounts, total profit of 2,170 on her first account, total profit of 1,820 on her second account, and a total profit of 2,328 on her third account right here. Nice work, Patricia. Yes, solid. Patricia said she is done for the day. All right, other than that, I think that's about it for right now. So there's still no entries for us to take right now, guys. As you guys can see, there's nothing for us to take. The trend is starting to shift, but it hasn't really confirmed yet. So once the trend here is shifted, we need price to push down a little lower, and then we'll look for the retracement back to the upside. The volatility here is starting to die down a little bit, so we will get this figured out. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Since we have some downtime right here, I'm just gonna try to help Jason. But guys, again, if you guys have any questions, any technical issues, make sure you get on early enough to get that figured out. If you guys message me during the live session, I'm not going to be able to help you out because we're focused on trading. Luckily, right now, we don't really have a busy period, so we're able to, I'm able to help with this stuff. All right. Jason, all right. Kip, I just saw your messages. Some more profits here from Kip. All right, some more profits over here from Kip. Kip locking a total profit of 1,296 for the day. Nice work, Kip. All wins. So solid work right there. Still no confirmation of direction yet. So we do have price below, and we do have the trend meter starting to turn red, but there's still no entries for us to take here at the moment. All right, so we're just waiting for a direction over here. I mean, the bias is still bullish, but there just isn't any direction here for us to take at the moment. Let me clean this up a little bit. Yeah, let me just clean this up, guys. Sorry, this all the levels here got kind of messed up between the 5 and 1. All right. All right, we got everything marked up right here. Everything looks good. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here for us to look at. There's just no confirmation of direction here on the 1 minute. The ATR is starting to lower down a little bit. You can see the ATR is currently at 16. It's not horrible yet. We can still look for entries, but the volatility is a lot lower. See, question from B over here. B's asking, did you see the thing about my Forex funds lowering their leverage to 50? Personally, I haven't seen it, but I mean, they've been saying that for like months now. So I don't know if it's like actually going through, but yeah, if that's the case, I mean, it's gonna suck a little bit, but I don't think it's really gonna make a difference because they already have a cap on lot size. So I don't think the leverage is gonna change too much with regard to the entries that we take, because the like the leverage is already capped. So if I'm on a 200K count, the highest lot size I can take is 100, which is kind of trash compared to FT Mobile, where I'm taking 200 lots. So yeah, they're probably gonna, if they lower leverage, I don't think it's gonna make a big difference. It's gonna make a difference if you're trading on a smaller account, of course. But if you're on a bigger account, it's still not gonna make a difference. It's not really gonna make too much of a difference because they have a lot size cap already in place. So I mean, if you guys are on an account under 200K or under 100K, then yeah, you might feel the difference with your lot sizing. But for me, I'm already capped at 100, so it's not really gonna make a difference. I'm basically at 50x already at this point on a 200K account. B said it came into effect today. Yeah, so if that's the case, then I think I'm fine because my entries are still executing on my 200K. So yeah, if you guys are if you guys are using a small account, leverage is probably going to affect your lot size, but on a 200K, it's not going to affect it because I'm already capped out at the max lot size for these scalps at least. So if I'm scalping, yeah, I'm capped out at the 100 lot. Or let me check real quick because I took the trade last night. Yeah, no, actually I posted my profits. So I posted my profits over here. Yeah, I took 100 lot last night is considered today, their time. So if it went into effect, I still was able to take 100 lot trade on my MFF. So it doesn't affect me at all on a 200K account. B said, I don't know what they're bringing out today. Maybe it's already out, but yeah, I mean, we'll see if I take a trade today and it doesn't execute, then yeah, my leverage is going to be capped even higher. But I don't think it matters for the higher account sizes. All right, we had news right here at 7:30, but I'll let you guys know if that's the case. I'll let you guys know, and we'll be able to determine. But for the most part, I was planning on dropping my account sizes to 100 anyways, so I could take full. I can take full entry sizes for mine because it kind of sucks when you're capped because you're not going to make the same amount of profits as you do on your other accounts. All right, so we got a buy signal over here, but we don't. We have a buy signal, but we don't have a confirmation of trend right now. So we do have a buy signal that we've been waiting for. We need price to swing back up. Once we get the confirmation of trend to the upside, we can start looking for for entries for a buy. Right now, we just don't have that opportunity yet. So price is pushing up right here. We're looking for a continuation. So basically, what we need here is we need price to push up, retrace, push up, retrace. Once we get that, we can start looking for entries probably around, say, this area up here. This area or this area. The reason why I say that is because we do have the bullish momentum here, but we don't have the bullish trend. Price needs to be above the pivots. If price pushes up to this area right here and retraces, the pivots are going to be down here, right? So with that said, we'll have the bullish confirmation of trend. We have bullish momentum, no bullish trend. Trend meter down below is still red. So if price pushes up here, then the trend meter will likely turn green at that point. It's just a matter of time until it does, though. All right, so I'm still looking for possible entry. I'm hoping I can get at least one entry today. That's why I'm getting kind of frustrated waiting for these entries because volatility is there, but there's just no entry for us to take. If we get a sell signal here, this is completely fine. We'll just start looking for some sells, but we just need to get some direction here. There's no direction yet. We have a pending sell signal right here. If we get that sell signal, then that's completely fine. We can start looking for some possible sells here. But at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. So if we got the sell signal right here, the direction is kind of confirmed for a sell. So that's fine if price continues to drop a little lower. It's not going to be a big deal for us because this is going to be a short-term move. It's not necessarily anything too crazy. It's just a short-term move to write down a little further. So if we get a sell signal right here that closes and then price drops a little bit, so we got another pending sell signal right here. I'm just hoping the volatility picks up. Volatility is starting to die down. ATR is now down to 15. It's not a good sign. The market's just kind of dying out right now, which is not what we want. We want price to actually continue to move, whether it be to the upside or the downside, but there's not really much direction here. So you can see price has been in this bubble right here for the past 20 or 30 minutes or so. So just a sideways movement here for the past 30 minutes or so. We need price to get out of this area. It doesn't matter where price goes. I don't care if price pushes up. That's fine. I'll look for buys. If price pushes down, I don't care. I'll look for some sells. But I need price to actually push in a direction. Right now, it's just going sideways, as you guys can see. There's not really too much going on here. This isn't the type of market that you want to trade in. You want price to be moving sideways. You want price to be going upwards or downwards. So we need price to push up and continue to push up. So we can look for buys, or we need price to push down and continue pushing down to look for some sells. It doesn't matter where price goes. We can trade in either direction. We just need to have an actual direction to trade in. Here's a clean chart. Let me go on market structure over here. You guys can see things a little better. All right, so here goes the clean chart. As you guys can see, there's not really too much going on here. Realistically, the real range here is going to be in between this area right here. This is a real range, right? This right here was a fake out. Price pushed, it kind of went sideways for a bit, pushed up, faked out, came back down, and now it's just going sideways. My guess is that price is going to push up. So this is where I see price going personally, because sentiment is still very high. I think price is going to push up. It's going to come to this point, consolidate a little bit, and then push up higher. Because the thing is, sentiment is still very high. I don't care if price goes up or if it goes down. I'm going to take trades in either direction, but that's kind of where I see price going. Otherwise, you know, price might just consolidate here for a bit before going up or before going down, of course. I mean, who knows? We'll see where this goes. At 7:38 right now, I'm really hoping we get some sort of direction here before 8, because I want to take at least one trade. I'm starting to get some FOMO here, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, if this is the case and I'm not able to take a trade today, then so be it. I'm still in profit from yesterday. So I took this trade during Asia session. There was a 1 hour entry right here. And I took that. I took a partial because what happened here was my TP hit right there. It didn't close me out because of the spread. When price pulled down right here, I just manually closed out and it gave me 1,000 profit, unfortunately. But I made profit from yesterday. So I shouldn't really be getting FOMO right now, but I mean, I'm getting FOMO, of course, you guys can tell, because we've been waiting for this entry pretty much all day. There's no entry here that's come up. I mean, the market's been kind of trash. So market opened right here at 6:30, and we were looking for an entry right here, right? Nothing happened this whole area. Price pushed up, consolidation. Price pushed up, consolidation. Price dropped, there's no direction, and we're back in a consolidation right here. But this is normal for summer conditions. Like, this is usually what happens during summer. It's just usually the market starts to pick up in between. I mean, which it did right here. It picked up, but just not in a direction. It picked up in a retracement. So now that price is retraced, the way that I see price going is I think price is going to correct back to the upside, because it's pretty much going to wipe out all the sellers right here. So see how all the sellers right here chase this drop right here? I think price is going to correct back up and it's just going to stop everybody out. The reason why I know there's a lot of sellers is because retail sentiment over here is 78% short. So with all these retail traders on the sell side, they're going to have to get stopped out eventually. And their stop outs are going to be right here, obviously. So that's why I think price will go up. But I mean, realistically, there's no direction. Price just keeps going sideways and sideways. See, Randy over here said he thinks he's done for the day, took a loss on the 5-minute pullback. Yeah, hopefully you took that for a one. Yeah, it looks like you took it for 1% risk. You didn't really lose that much on there. Or was that a higher risk? Actually, no, it looks like it's a 1%, because it looks like this over here was the liquidity push. You took that for 100 pips. And this over here was a little bit higher. Yeah, it's all good. Let's see. CJ said another high-low momentum scalp, or sorry, a high-low momentum just hit. Yeah, high-low momentum scalp. So it looks like the one that CJ was referring to is this one right here. So there's a lower low right here. Again, there's other strategies that people apply. There's a lower low right there, buy signal that came up right here. This is where CJ identified the high-low momentum scalp. He took that right there for a buy, and it looks like it went straight to TP. Yep. Straight to TP right there. So if you guys took that, it looks like it hit and went right through. I'm still looking for a confirmation here. We have the buy signal. Okay, looks like volatility is starting to pick up here a little bit. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I need price to push up above this area. Once we get this buy signal, I need price to push up, retrace, And then once we get that retracement, that's where I'll be looking for my entry. Right there. All right, so we'll see where this ends up pulling through. We just need to push to the upside. That's really what we're looking for. So we have the buy signal here. We don't have a direction of trend yet. If price pushes above this area over here, then price will be above the pivots. Once price pushes up here, the trend meter will turn green. And once we have that, we can start looking for a possible entry. I'm hoping we get at least one entry here. I'm not going to force it, but I do hope we get an entry before 8 o'clock. Let's see, question from all right, so Marcin over here was asking about the 5 minute. So he's asking 5 minutes based off the ATR. Yeah, that's correct. So he's mentioning if the ATR is on the 5 minute is 28, then CP stop loss is 280 on both sides. That's correct. However, for the 1 minute over here, the stop loss is never 400. 400 is like way too far out. You're doing like a 4-to-1 risk to reward at that point. So you can use the ATR on the 1 minute if you want to go for a higher TP, but your stop loss should always still be at 250. So you wouldn't change your stop loss, because the thing is you're still going to cut out of your trade. Like for example, if you get out of if you end up taking a trade and an opposite signal comes up, you're still going to cut out earlier. You're probably not going to go to the full 250. The 250 is just a safety net. So yeah, you can use the ATR if you want for the 1 minute. It's just a lot more work. You have to make adjustments to where your TP is sitting versus just having it set at 100 pips. We have Gian over here. Gian said one and done. He's out for the day. Gian over here locked in a total profit of 1,920. Nice work, Gian. Solid profit right there. And this freaking market sucks. Okay, so we still don't have any entries here. You can see price isn't really doing anything. It's been going sideways for like the past hour now. So starting from this area right here, basically from this candle right here, price has been going sideways. So if you measure this from this area to here, price has pretty much been going sideways for about 32 minutes now. Super, super slow. Yeah, it's crazy. There's just not very much volatility here at all. Let's see, CJ's asking, do you think putting a pending order for that weekly liquidity for 100 pips after the live would be okay, or is it just too risky? So for me, I never put a pending order unless I'm like actively reviewing the chart, CJ. The reason for that is because so this is what might happen. CJ's asking if it would be safe for him to just set a pending order and then leave it alone. I mean, you can do it. It's not like it won't work. I think it'll probably hit. But the problem that you might run into is this might happen. Price will push up. It'll consolidate a little bit, push up, get really close to it, maybe fill your order, fake out, and then go right back up. That's why I don't like putting pending orders like that, because if I'm not actively watching it, it depends when it's going to get hit, right? So for example, if you guys are familiar with like how the market moves after 12 o'clock, so if I ever trade after 8 o'clock, it's like I'll stop trading between 8 and 9. So this is another reason too, CJ. So I typically don't trade between 8 and 9. If you trade between 8 and 9 here, this is typically what will happen. Price will go up, it'll fake out, and it'll come down super hard until 9 o'clock. And then it comes back up, and then now it goes perfect, right? So there's certain times where the market moves a little unusual. I mean, it's unusual to the normal person, but if you trade US30 every day, you know how the market moves. So the market typically moves a little unusually around here between 8 and 9. And then again, right here between like 11:30 and market close. So if you have a pending order and your trade doesn't get filled, and like if it gets filled around this time right here, then you might just be screwed because this is the mid-market reversal. So like what might happen here is price might, slowly go up. And then this is what might happen. Price will go up right here at 11 o'clock. It'll probably spike up. It'll trigger your order and then it'll just come right back down before it comes right back up later. So for me personally, I don't like putting any pending orders if I'm not actively watching the chart. I mean, if you really want to put it up, I would wait until price gets closer to like something like I would set an alarm or an alert for when price gets around this area right here and then see where it's at. Because if it's around this area, like around like say 9 o'clock, then great, like this is what might happen here. Price might go sideways for a bit, push up, come back down hard between this period, then come back up around here. And say it's like 10:30, right? If price hits this point, it's probably going to push up and then it's going to come down. So I see these patterns every day. Like whenever I look at the chart, like even if I'm not trading and I come back like later in the afternoon to look at to see what happened, you'll see like these patterns that play out all the time. It's the same pattern almost every day. Certain patterns play out at certain times. That's why I only trade between 6:30 and 8 because this is typically where the volatility is high. Volatility died down right here, 8 to 9, picks back up right here between 9 and 11, and then it dies down right here or reverses between 11 and 1, which is market close. So I personally wouldn't put a pending order. If you wanted to do it, feel free, but I would only do it if you're actively watching. Because also, the thing that you have to look out for is news. I don't know if there's any news today. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really much news today, but on days that there is news, like sometimes people don't realize that there's news at like 11 o'clock. Like sometimes on Fed week, there's like the FOMC meeting, people forget about it, and these big crazy spikes happen around 11 o'clock. So you just want to be fully aware of like what's going on, especially when it comes down to like high impact news. But all right, back to the charts over here. There's still no direction. You can see price is still going sideways. Man, it's super frustrating. I'm really getting FOMO right now. I was hoping I'd be able to get at least one entry, but it's not looking like it. 749 right now. We have another buy signal right here. Let's see if price finally makes that last push. But if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. Unfortunately, there's no entry for me to take here so far. My accounts are technically in profit for the week, but for the live sessions, I'm still in the negative for the results because we did take that loss yesterday. I took a trade in Asia session, but it's not going to count towards the results. So my equity, my accounts are positive, but for the live session, we're still in the negative right now because I haven't taken any trades today. And the trade yesterday was hit TP, but we didn't get closed out, so it ended up counting for a loss. So it's all good. It's only Tuesday. We have a whole week ahead of us. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever you guys are trading, you don't have to force trades, right? You have a whole week ahead of you. It's Tuesday today. We still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm hoping the market will pick back up tomorrow. I think it will pick up because tomorrow is Wednesday. It's getting midweek for FOMC. There's also a lot of news happening tomorrow. So if you look over here on the news calendar, we have a lot of pre-market news over here, MBA mortgage applications, basically a lot of mortgage news over here at 4 o'clock, some ADP employment change at 5:15. So we have a lot of pre-market news and then during market news as well. We have news at 4 o'clock, 6:30, 5:15, 7, 7:30, a lot of news events happening tomorrow, which is going to cause a lot of volatility in the market. Today, I was hoping the news events would cause volatility, but it didn't really give us the volatility that we needed. It gave us volatility on open, but then when the actual news events came out over here at 6:45, it didn't really do anything, right? It was pretty much stale the entire session. Price pushed up right here for like a few candles on open, went sideways, pushed up a little bit, went sideways, pushed down right here, and then it just went sideways for like the past hour, basically. So it's just the market that we're in. This is typical for summer though, guys. So like this, I think summer is a good time for you guys to really build on your trade psychology. If you guys can win trades and be consistent during the summer, you guys will really excel during the fall when the volatility is high. I tell you guys this every year. If you guys have been trading with me over the past couple of years now, we've been trading live for about over 5 years now every day. If you guys have traded with me last summer, I told you guys the same thing, right? The same situation was happening last summer. Price went sideways for a bit, and then as soon as summer ended, a lot of you guys made some really big strides, and you guys made a ton of profit once the market volatility picked up. The ATR is currently at 14 right now. I'm not surprised because you can see price is not going anywhere. Price has been going sideways for the past hour. So the ATR was good right here. It was at like 20, went down to 19, 17, 18, 16, 15, and now it's down to 14. So the volatility is just getting lower and lower as price just gets tighter right here. So unfortunately, it's not looking like we're going to get any more entries at this point. Let's see, CJ I noticed yesterday I got a green strip on my second account, but it was negative 120 on the trade, while my first account hit TP and profit. Yeah, it's kind of risky because sometimes, like I was mentioning earlier with CJ, if news happens, it'll spike into profit on one account, and then the other account will just close out late, and you'll end up getting caught and in a bad position. All right, the price is pushing up right here. Let's see if price pushes up a little bit higher. Maybe we can catch one trade before news or before end of session. I don't think we'll be able to take one though because the ATR is currently at 14. We'll see if the ATR picks up here a little bit. Hopefully it does. Still got 7 minutes. So we'll see here. Price pushes up, retraces, and provides an entry for us here. Bring that push up right here. Let's see, 35, 730. I want price to push up a little higher. So I'm looking for 35, 730 up there. So basically what I'm looking for here, guys, is I'm looking for this to play out. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I was hoping price would continue pushing up higher. But I mean, basically, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for price to push up a little bit higher, retrace, and push up. So that's where I was going to take my entry at 30 mark. But this candle right here just pulled right back down. Let's look at sentiment. Sentiment's still at 78. I don't think it's changed very much. Yeah, sentiment's still at 78. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're still pretty much flat. They're at 30 points. I mean, all the news is pretty much solid. So it says over here, job openings, layoffs decline in June is a positive sign for the labor market. All right, so employment openings totaled at 9.58 million for June, edging lower from the downwardly revised 9.62 in May. Layoffs nudged down to 1.53 million after totaling to 1.55 million in May. So it looks like the job market started to pick up a little bit. I mean, this could be temporary, it might not be anything crazy. This might be temporary right now. Summer season. But I mean, if that's the case and the news there was positive from earlier today, then I mean, price will probably push up eventually. I think eventually price will continue pushing up and it'll get to a point where will be higher than it was today. So I think these highs are going to get broken eventually. Like, we marked up the liquidity over here. Let's see what the next level is. So I think the thing to look out for, guys, would be this area over here, because this liquidity technically didn't get hit yet. I mean, it got hit, but I think a lot of the stop losses were a bit higher. Price pushed up right here. It was overextended, but it didn't actually get to that level of liquidity. So I think price will continue pushing up higher, and this would be the level of liquidity that you'd be looking for up there. Volatility is dead. So, all right, guys, I don't think there's going to be any entries for us here. I was really hoping price would push up here, but you can see nothing's really happening. Price did try to push up, and then it pulled right back into this range. So unfortunately, it looks like there's not going to be any entries for today. It's okay. this is summer season, so I'm not really expecting too many entries to come up today. I was hoping this would be an NFP week where the market's super volatile. I know you guys have seen NFP weeks where like the entire week is just very volatile and it's easy to take trades, but this is not one of those weeks. The market's probably gonna pick up tomorrow. If it doesn't pick up tomorrow, it'll for sure pick up on Thursday. So, what I recommend is to just sit out the market, guys. If you guys don't have to trade, just sit out. You guys can see here, it's pretty clear that there's no direction. It's just going sideways. I think price will push up eventually, but for right now, I think it's best to just sit out of the market. Just conserve your account and conserve your profits and your capital for tomorrow. And then tomorrow, hopefully we can lock in, one or two trades, pretty much bring our live session trades back into break even. And then from there, we can catch a stride towards the end of the week. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Unfortunately, there's no official trades for today. The market just isn't really moving too much right now. It's pretty much flat. So other than that, reach out and